It's Balloon Man from Robyn Hitchcock and the Egyptians. Blew up right there in your hand, didn't he?
Yeah, I suppose so, if you like.
Robyn Hitchcock is in the studio, obviously, playing a concert tonight at the Vic Theater, and just recently released your 10th record, Queen Elvis?
No, it's the 13th, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, we had the number 13 actually on the window of the phone box, but we airbrushed it out because we thought it was bad vibes. But once a number 13, always a 13. It's like the 13th floor. If you call the 14th, the 13th or the 14th, it's still really the 13th.
But it gets the bad luck spirits out of that.
I don't know. You can't cheat fate. I can't believe fate is so stupid that it's fooled by things like airbrushing and changing the numbers, you know.
When I found out that you were going to be coming into the studio tonight, you do have quite a legion of fans here in the city, and a number of them asked me telepathically, of course, which would be, which is the best way to put on a pair of shoes? Do you put the socks on first and then go for the shoes, or do you put one sock, one shoe, and then do the other foot?
Oh, I see what you're getting at. I thought you meant, did you put the shoes on your feet and then put the socks on the outside?
Well, you could do that. Some people prefer that.
Yeah. Well, I think you can if you've got very elastic socks. It just depends what sign you are, I think. I mean, if you're an Aquarius, for instance, Aquarians achieve chaos through order. An Aquarian would put one sock on and then a shoe, and then the house would burn down, and they'd run out with, you know, one totally dressed foot and the other naked.
Are you an Aquarian?
No, I'm not. I'm far too chaotic. I achieve chaos through chaos. I just put the socks on and then completely forget that I was supposed to put any shoes on, I believe. But actually, I'm wearing matching socks for this radio broadcast.
That's right, and you've brought along a guitar.
I did, yeah.
And before we let you play a song or two, since this is your first visit here at WXRT, we'd like to talk briefly about your past.
Really? Okay.
Your illustrious past with the Soft Boys.
And my other past. Well, it wasn't very illustrious being in the Soft Boys, actually. I don't know if anyone ever heard... Do you ever play the Soft Boys on XRT?
I don't think we've played them on a regular basis, but I'm sure that people that are aware of your music are aware of the band. In fact, you do have quite a good following here.
Yeah, well, it was a long time ago, basically, and it's funny that anyone notices it. I think the only reason is that Kimberly, who was in the Soft Boys, had a hit with Walking on Sunshine and Katrina and the Waves, and Andy and Morris have had no hits at all, being with me as part of Robyn Hitchcock and the Egyptians. Now, viewers, if for some reason you don't know to what I'm alluding, you're going to be even more occluded by the intense mystery of this topic, because no further light can be shed. Suffice it to say, it happened in the past, and there's now no trace whatsoever of this thing. It's like a metal briefcase that you might drop in the middle of Lake Michigan and then never retrieve again. You see what I mean? It's a long time.
Yeah, but they're...
And you couldn't even prove that metal suitcase had been jumped down there, you know. I mean, I couldn't even produce a Soft Boys record to prove that it had happened. We don't know. I mean, I might have been in some other group. I might have been in the Pleasers or the Band or one of those people, the Buzzcocks. I wasn't, but I mean, it's just so hard to prove these things, if you see what I mean.
Well, let's talk about your current record, Queen Elvis.
That's the latest one.
Yeah, it's a pretty good record.
Is it?
Yeah, I kind of like it. People seem to call for it here at the radio station. Your songs, more than a lot of other people's, seem to be quite full of images, dreamlike. You really spin quite a few wonderful little stories that really offer up some vivid pictures. Is there, like, really some sort of message that you're trying to convey, or is it strictly left up to the individual to kind of take in and relate for himself?
Well, I'm not really trying to convey anything. You're legally entitled to think what you like when you hear these things. As long as people don't go around actually breaking into people's houses and stabbing each other, a la Helter Skelter, I don't think it really matters. I don't think it's going to encourage people to do anything particularly evil. No, a lot of the songs are encoded. I mean, I'm just talking my own language, really, and I'm privileged that other people are interested to want to hear it. I don't know what effect it has.
Well, can we hear some of your language?
Some of my language?
Favor us with
You want me to play the guitar immediately?
Yeah.
Wow, this is very fast. Okay, this is a really old song. This is from the days of the Soft Boys. And it's about someone who's... Well, see if you can guess what it's about. Downstairs, the candle throws her shadow over me, and when I get downstairs, I pass the place she always used to be, and it's strange. No one else can see. Strange. No one else but me. And when I kiss her mouth, I raise the lid and lower it again. And when I kiss her mouth, I never cry. I'm just like other men. But it's strange. I know one else can see. Strange. No one else but me. And so she lies there in the freezer, looking elegant and tall. Oh, she could lie there for a century and never change at all. But it's strange. I know one else can see. Strange. No one else but me. No one else but me.
Very nice. Very nice. What's the name of that one?
Could you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. That was called Strange, oddly enough. I didn't title it. Matthew titled it. I did that. I wrote that nearly 10 years ago. No, well, put it this way, 9 years ago.
That was a Soft Boys song?
It was done. I was done in the Soft Boys days. Yeah. So I don't think that's ever been released over here.
Yeah.
So there you have. Well, that was a song anyway.
That was really nice. Let's do some commercials and come back and talk some more.
Very well.
Alrighty. This is WXRT in the studio with Robyn Hitchcock. With Robyn Hitchcock, you're playing at the Vic tonight, which is kind of a medium-sized hall.
Mm.
And the last time you came through was with REM playing a very huge hall.
Oh, probably, yeah.
The Rosemont Horizon.
It was a bit out of town, wasn't it?
Yeah, but close enough for rock and roll, as they say.
Oh, quite. Well, rock and roll can get all over the place, really.
Yeah, as it tends to do.
Well, it's like any virus, it's hard to contain.
Was it tricky to play in front of that many people, or was it the biggest crowd that you'd ever played touring with REM?
Statistically, yeah, but the point is that when you're an opening act, they're not there to see you, they're there to see the band, the main act. Plus, half of them haven't even got into their seats when you go on, or, 2-3/4 maybe. So in practice, you might just well go up there and fry an egg, It's very hard to get any stage fright for those occasions, because it just doesn't matter. In fact, the real effect it had was to make us condense everything into 40 minutes, so that we managed to do a 9-song show, and that was it. When we started touring by ourselves again, you suddenly had to occupy people's attention for, up to an hour and a half, including your own. And, I mean, you might think you're pretty fascinating company, but you find that, suddenly an hour and a half of you think, Jesus, how am I going to make this look entertaining? The Richard Daly, is that Mayor Daly of Off the Pigs fame, whatever it is, who was responsible for some gruesome things in the 60s or something like that.
Well, his son is now mayor.
I know, I gather. What, with the same policies? Hang on, we can't say this on the radio, can we, anyway?
We're not sure of his policies. He's only been in office for a few months, so those are yet to be determined.
But people are usually elected on their promises.
He seems to be making good on a few of them.
I heard him denouncing something on this station about half an hour ago. Loans of some description. Someone had started a bank account, but I couldn't concentrate. So never mind. Anyway, I just wondered. So it's the Daily.
It's
the
the
Dailies
same
of
one.
Chicago.
One and the same. His
Right.
son, the family. It's a family affair.
Yeah.
Would you care to play another tune?
I can try. I don't know whether to do anything. What do you want? Something old again?
How about Heaven? Are you going to play Heaven tonight?
Oh no, I can't sing Heaven acoustically. It would sound awful.
Flesh number 1?
Nah, it needs Peter Buck on it. Well, Peter Buck.
Yeah, we'll
Peter
talk
Buck's
about him.
usually there. Peter Buck is nearly always around, but he's not here today because I think they're in Europe.
How about Chinese Bones?
Chinese Bones. All right, I'll do that. Hang on. Watching Romeo dissolve, I was tempted to join him. By the mirror of the lake where the statues unfurl. I had never seen a man so abuse his reflection as the light shines through your Chinese buns. Watching Juliet implode, I would hasten to warn her. But around her feet I saw that her serpent was curled. And her eyeballs had rolled up, so her pupils had vanished. And the light shines through your Chinese bones. Oh, the light shines through your Chinese bones. I met an interesting dwarf and I told him a story. As you walk towards the east, then your shadow must rise. Something Shakespeare never said was you've got to be kidding. And the light shines through your Chinese the light shines through your Chinese bones. The line between us is so thin, I might as well be you. And everywhere I've ever been, I know you're going to, as the light shines through your Chinese bones, shines through your Chinese bones.
Thank you. Very nice. Robyn Hitchcock in the studio here at WXRT. You mentioned Peter Buck a little bit ago.
How could I fail to mention him? Yeah.
And he played on the last two Robyn Hitchcock Egyptians records. How did you meet? And
we met somewhere in London. He was went to what we call a vet. To you, a vet is like a veteran of, military service. Someone who's done what they can for their country and has been, amputated and left on a street corner somewhere. But to us, a vet is a veterinary surgeon, someone who deals with animals, animals that are ill. He said intelligently, in case you wondered, good evening, XRT Chicago, I'm Robyn Hitchcock talking to Johnny Mars. And in the meantime, Peter was drunk trying to hire a cat from this cat protection agency, which is a department of the veterinary surgeons. And I was having my cat repaired, or the house cat repaired anyway. And Peter wanted to, he couldn't bring it, you can't bring animals into Britain in and out because of the quarantine laws. It has to stay there for 6 weeks. Peter was feeling quite insecure. He was, REM, they were getting big, but they weren't nearly as big as they are now. And he had this strange patch of stage fright when he used to, kind of homesickness, where he used to have these, all these photographs of where he used to live pinned up on the wall, and he had a roadie carrying maps and things like that of his old basement around. And one of the things he liked was things like domestic animals, cats and dogs and so on. So he was trying to hire a cat, and he was a bit drunk, and I said, I'll lend you mine because it's just been fixed. It's running perfectly, in fact. And he said, are you sure? So we tried it out. Wow! And it was. So I realized he was a rock and roller, and he'd in fact even heard of the Soft Boys. He must have been the only person who had. So
no, you'll be surprised. You play that down, but I think you'd be surprised. There are
well, they have now, but they didn't then, mate. I tell you, the Soft Boys was about the most ignominious group in the world. It was so depressing. Right, enough of that moaning on the air. Meantime, so I lent Peter the cat, and off we went. And I sort of helped him out with the cat on tour and things like that. He got it back at the end, and we sort of drifted into each other. Not physically, but mentally.
Well,
we sit around and play guitar a lot.
You two complement each other quite well.
Well, we have almost identical guitar styles for some reason.
Let's see if we can touch upon the songs.
We can try.
Is there a normal process for writing them? Do you find it difficult, or is it relatively easy to knock off some songs? Or
it just depends. Sometimes it's impossible. Other times you can't stop them coming out. Really, I have no control over the process. I occasionally sort of stick a spar of conscious intelligence in there. Otherwise, I just let them get on with the process.
Would you say it's dreamlike, or are dreams very personal? And,
I think it's done with the same part of the brain, probably, as dreaming is. I don't think it's done with the same part of the brain as filling in an income tax return, or working out how to put up a set of bunk beds, or doing the plumbing. It probably fulfills the same function as dreaming, which is, well, we don't know anything about dreaming except that if you don't sleep, you go insane. And sleep isn't just physical rest. Sleep is having your brain out, O-U-T, kaput, during which time you have rapid eye movement, REM for short. And all this takes place inside a...
Something there?
No, there's never anything anywhere, really. All this takes place in a vat of ever-expanding cream with three men called Milton who are standing around the edge, pelting you with little chocolate drops until such time as you are taken out and dragged across the lake on a trawler. It's very simple, but you see, it prevents you from... Some people think dreams are prophecies, and other people think dreams are working out your problems, your daytime problems at night. Or some people think that they're actually race memories, you know, whatever they are, that people find them inexplicable, but if there's a reason for everything, there's a reason for the juxtapositions you get in dreams. So they're wish fulfillment, maybe prophecy, maybe coming to terms with things, and that's what my songs are, basically.
I once had a dream where I owed Eric Clapton $2,000. What does that mean?
That means wait till you meet Pete Townsend.
All right, we're going to play another song from... actually, the first song we've played this evening from your current record,
right,
Queen Elvis. This is Freeze, and we'll come back and we'll say goodbye or whatever, say a few more words.
Yes.
And this is Robyn Hitchcock and the Egyptians, Freeze on XRT. It's Robyn Hitchcock with the Egyptians. Almost going into the next song, but we can stop that. Here on WXRT, and Robyn is in the studio. We'll take care of some business and come back and wrap things up because he's got to get going. He's playing tonight over at the Vic. Justice in the American Way. Supertramp. 93 FM is WXRT. We're in the studio with Robyn Hitchcock, who is, again, playing at the Vic this evening with the Egyptians.
Yeah.
And any final thoughts, anything you'd like to get across to Chicagoans that we may have missed in the course of our little conversation?
Well, keep electing the same mayor.
Keep it in the family.
Keep it in the family, and... oh, wow. He said very, very slowly. The amazing thing is, last time we were here, which was only about 3 months ago, it was absolutely full of ice and things. There were people today walking around virtually naked with amazing torsos, really well-built guys especially, not an ounce of flab on them. Pure 100%, you know, American beef steer.
Don't you go through the Four Seasons where you live?
Not with a torso like that. I mean, there were these people standing there, and they would have frozen to death within a millisecond of being out there on that lake in March. It was quite incredible where this sort of pack ice was and everything, and this wind that was so cold that my face just turned to leather, you know. Actually, the whole outer area went dead, and it was so windy that I got lost getting back to the hotel. I couldn't walk down to the side of the lake to find out where I was. And that very same spot today was full of holidaymakers. And I've seen extreme change. I mean, I've seen it in Britain, but it's quite staggering to see what 3 months can do. So obviously, you know, time can heal anything. So all those of you who have been wounded in the last 3 months, mellow out. Things will get better, and soon people will be skin diving off you and walking all over you like beef steer and things like that.
All righty. Robyn Hitchcock playing again tonight at the Vic. Thanks for coming by, and continued success and good luck.
Yeah, well, I hope they actually carry on letting you play us on the air and don't force you to play 100% beef steers.
No, we'll avoid the beef steers.
All right.
Thanks.